Canada because...
A boot! Not a boot. Sorry.
Hey, welcome back to Trail Trash Garage. Just down here in the dark dungeon. Design. Whatever. Alright. So, here we've got our carb boot. This one was a prototype. Yeah, you can't see that. There. This one's a prototype. This one's the very first prototype. This is the velocity stack. No. And this is the one that should fit. Yeah, so those strings that are in there, and if you see them, they'll just get melted out, but let's see if this fits. Boom. Oh yeah, look at that. Now, so if we take this off for a second, okay? Okay. And we put this on here. Now, you see what's not covered? Those two air jets, okay? Now, so here's the issue. Both Linked Garage, or Link's Garage maybe, Moto Cheese, they use this flange in some sort of way, or velocity stack, or whatever you want to call it, right? But these air jets are open to the air. Now, I'm not 100% what they supply for air, but I can guarantee you that unfiltered air going in there is not going to be good for the carburetor. So I don't know why the carb is supported, is given, you know, supplied with this. I guess if you're going to use this as a velocity stack and you're not going to put it, you're going to use it for race applications and you're not going to put it into an air box, they don't care that it's not filtered. I don't know. It's the Chinese carburetor. Who knows why they do the things they do sometimes. But in designing this, I'm like, I don't feel comfortable leaving those jets exposed like that. So I designed this carb flange. Now, I could have brought it up further and in, and maybe I'll do that. This may end up being a problem, and I'll have to like angle it into the body itself, and then have the two holes internal or something like that. I don't know. I don't know how much this is going to restrict any airflow. I mean, obviously you can see. I get the light in here. You can see down there that the jets have got lots of air, and that's going to be pulling clean filtered air from the air box. So we'll see if this works. If it doesn't, then I don't know. We'll have to go to plan B and then redesign this thing. But with my current abilities with Fusion, it's just easier to do what I did there than it is to come up with any other way. So it fits in here really nice. So that shape is really good. Now there is a groove around here, and I thought about making a groove here that would go into this groove and really make a good seal. The problem is when you print on the 3D printing bed, that little groove would set this up, and then you would have to put support material all around here. And sometimes that doesn't break off. It just doesn't break off that well, especially with PTEG. So mostly what I'm going to do is come up with a gasket, maybe an O-ring that I can put in here, or maybe a little bit of clear silicone or something, just to kind of give this a little bit extra sealing ability, because we don't want any vacuum leaks here. It won't affect the air-fuel mixture that much, but it does let dirty air in past there. So, I mean, we got a good close seal on that. That is really, I'm really happy with the way that turned out. So the only thing is, I don't know how the air box, like, I don't know if this is too long. We'll have to double check that. I try to take good measurements. We may end up having to shorten this up a little bit. I'm just thinking, like this sits here. It's actually shorter. And I think the air box on Moto Cheeses comes in and clamps here, so this may actually be too long, but we'll test it with the airbox. I'm just using some 2-inch pipe here. I think it's like 50 some millimeters wide, but it's not quite long enough, so I've got another piece clipped. I may end up going to the Yamaha dealer and seeing if I can order an E-carburetor boot, because apparently that works. I think Link's Garage used that one, and Moto Cheese just used some silicone pipe. That's just some radiator hose. Just needs to make a good seal, that's all, and hold the carb okay. So that's probably it for here. If you want to know how I get the shape, then I'll show you guys right here. And I can't, like, let's see if I can get an angle that kind of shows good. But basically, if we turn on this, right, then basically you can kind of see here where you use a picture of the carburetor as a canvas, and then you can kind of calibrate it with measurements, and then you lay the piece over top of it and really get what you're looking for. So now you've got like a 2D, and you can make this opaque or whatever you want to do, but basically you got a 2D image with 3D. And there's obviously my calipers. Yeah, so that's basically how you do that. That's how I get that accurate with that. So we're gonna go ahead and just check, and just looking at the jets in here. Looks like it comes with a 170. It looks like that's fine for an aftermarket pipe. I've still got the stock pipe. I don't know if we're gonna do the aftermarket pipe because the link pipe is gonna be a big pain in my ass. And so I'm thinking about chopping off the link pipe from the stock pipe, but then I can't go back, right? Like once you've chopped it, you're done. It's not a quick. If I really think that can that I have is super obnoxious and loud, can't easily just go back to the stock exhaust because I chopped it up. So I don't know if I'm going to do that. We might, or I might do it in a later stage. It's hard to say. I need to think about that one a little bit more. But today is airbox and carb boot day. So if you're using the stock exhaust like Moto Cheese is, I think he used a 160 main. So I think that's probably what I'll start with. I'll swap this out for a 160 main, and we will hook this up, and then we'll, give it a whirl, start the bike, and see how she sounds. Unfortunately, there's snow on the ground here in Canada. I can't ride the bike. If we get a good day, I want to be able to go out and test ride it. So I want to have everything done. I can only just start it up, test the idle, that sort of thing. I won't be able to actually go out and give it a rip, but. Hopefully we'll have everything buttoned up. The first good day we do have, the nice first spring thaw day, I'll be able to go out and take it for a rip. That way she's ready to go for the spring, and I'm not sitting around, trying to rearrange the garage to get the DRZ up and get the work done on it in a rush so that I can ride. The gull wing still has to go up. There's some things that has to be done with that. The whole front water pump area has got to be rebuilt, new seals, new gaskets, all that sort of stuff, and the timing belt's changed. So that's not going to get done probably until later in the spring. So that bike may be down for a little bit in the spring. So the DRZ really will be my only bike to ride, unless some of the other projects come together, and they're just not. Like that's going to be. I anticipate being most of the summer getting those other projects done up completely to the point where I'm satisfied with them and get them out the door. So I want the DRZ ready to ride. Yeah, not jabbering. I'll bring you back when we get up in the garage. All right, we're back in the garage. There's other videos on there on how to install this stuff. So I wasn't really going to go over that. There's nothing different really here. But I'll take you off the stand. Boom. Carb's in there. Couple of concerns. There is, if you watch the other videos, and you can't really see in there now because I got everything back on, but the pull throttle, there is a sharp turn where it went down into the carburetor, the old carburetor. So if you do this, like it's not a snap back. It's a dual throttle. It's a push pull. So I mean, it does close when you close the throttle, but there is a little bit of stickiness there. Now I might be able to avoid some of it with routing. But the cables really aren't fetched up on anything. Like there's slack there. I think it's that bend. Probably what I will do at some point in the future is try to straighten that band or replace the cable with an aftermarket cable that comes straight down. Because the way the angle is on the throttle plate, it just doesn't need that curve. I mean, these cables are what, 12 years old now, 13 years old. They've seen a lot of hard road, off-road stuff, so maybe it's time for new throttle cables anyway. Any other concerns? No. We're gonna fire it up. Put some gas in it. Let's see what this baby will do. Come around. And remember, we can't drive it, which kind of sucks. Put the choke on. I don't know if we need it, but. know we're in Canada because...
A boot! Not a boot! Sorry.